Tom, where do you think that game was won and lost this afternoon?
Well, the start of the games is a real worry now. We're coming to a place who have probably underachieved in their first 5 games, and we just don't give the environment to get any anxiety and any sort of nerves amongst the home crowd, because we start the game so slowly. So that'd be a starting point. I thought it was a terrible time to concede the second, and that is something we can look at certainly. From our throw-in to concede 10 seconds later is a game management issue, and it's the game management that's clearly becoming one of our problems. So that is where we'll start to dissect and get better.
You mentioned game management. How do you work on that in training? How do you go about improving that?
Yeah, it's my job to teach certainly some of the less experienced guys of what that looks like, moments in games that are important, sort of how you start, how you respond to goals just before half time, and yeah, we're not managing those situations well enough, and yeah, it's you can train scenarios on the training pitch, but I think a lot of it is not passing down knowledge as well.
Conceding a goal early on and losing 2 players to injury within the first quarter of an hour, how much does that disrupt your game plan, and how difficult is that to bounce back from?
Yeah, I'll go more down this conceding a goal route than making excuses of losing 2 key figures. I thought Bondi and Ryan Porteous both were 2 of our better players after they came in, so there'll be no excuses from the disruption of the substitutes, but more down the line of conceding the goal, and we could have conceded even earlier. It's an issue that we all will correct, and we'll keep working as hard as possible until we do.
Is there an early update on how Dan and Francisco are doing?
No, both muscular issues, and yeah, the muscular ones are normally a couple of days before you can see the severity of them.
And as you said, conceding just before half time, did that change your team talk at all?
Yeah, 100%. It completely changes the game plan in the second half. It means that you have to come out and you open yourselves up to getting picked off like we did. It's a real disappointing situation to concede from. I thought we were the team in the ascendancy at that point. We've got a throw-in down near our dugout, which you'd hope would be sort of gone as deep into their half as possible, and we've gone more inside the pitch. We've tried a flick, and unfortunately, these are things that our young players will learn the hard way.
Having said all that, Dan Jefferson had a good chance for 2-1 after the ball hit the post. Do you think there's fine margins in these games?
There is, but I would say that on review of the game, it'll be not feeling hard done by today. It's a case of where can we improve. This is the biggest test that I've had as the coach, and as a group of players. There's been a lot of pat on the backs so far this season, but this will be one to take on broad shoulders, stick your chest out, and with next week are the weeks that sort of really define your season. I'm talking from a league perspective, when there's 9 points up for grabs in 7 days, and yeah, we can still have a real positive block of games even after this result today.
Both goals in the second half were crosses and finishes from close range. Is that something to look at?
Yeah, you always review where you concede goals. We'll always review that and get better at it and work hard at it. I think as from a coaching perspective, you'd rather have the problem of how do we tighten up than the problem of we don't look like scoring. We look like scoring. And probably didn't have enough goals return as chances created today, but it's a problem I'd rather have as a coach, is how do we get tighter than we're not creating enough.
Finally, we've got the small matter of Man City in a couple of days' time. How do you approach that game in the next few days?
Like every game, we'll create a game plan. We feel and we believe that we can be successful in the game. It's sort of there's showed glimmers of weakness in the last 2 games against Milan and Brentford, but listen, we're going to the best team in the world, the strongest squad in the world, and I know they've got a game 2 days before that, but there'll be 11 world class players out there, so it's a massive test for us.
Thanks, Tom.
Cheers.
Cheers.